Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that is yet to be named. I'm here with fellow gamer getting rid of Pophead, old pal Puttyman here.
Yeah.
Hi. Pothead.
Hi. Oh, how's
And
it
I'm
going?
here with JD right over there. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about I've combined two ideas to one. It's underrated slash underappreciated comedies. So a lot of these movies might not be underrated. They might just be underappreciated because critics like them, but nobody else did, or vice versa. So we're gonna get into this, and I'm gonna make Putty go first because he's at the bottom.
All right, and I feel like you modified this for me, but anyway,
I modified it for myself.
Okay, my number 5 is Idle Hands. Ooh.
Oh, acceptable.
Okay.
Jay Dizzle.
Me? I am going with My Cousin Vinny.
How is that underrated, though? I never really thought that was ever underrated.
It's underappreciated in the modern era.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I really didn't think it was, but okay.
Because
it won Oscars and everything.
My list leans more heavily into like the deepness.
These
of
are
comedy.
My Cousin Vinny is the most mainstream underrated film I have on mine.
Yeah, I swim in the deep end of comedy. That's where I live usually. So my number 5 is Bowfinger.
See, okay.
That was on my honorable mentions, so there goes one off my list.
Wait, why did I even? Oh yeah, okay. So my number 4, right?
Yep.
Okay, my number 4 is Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. My number 4 is The Caps because they're both Bill Murray films and they're both underappreciated. Which is What About Bob and The Man Who Knew Too Little.
This is a double good Caps. I'm going to be honest with you. I almost caps my entire list. It took all the life in me to take off 2 movies out of this list. So I almost had 10 movies. My number 4 is a Caps. It's Dirty Work and Brewster's Millions.
Oh, Dirty Work was such a good movie.
Dirty Work is maybe the most underrated comedy.
Fuck, I totally forgot about it.
This is my favorite underrated.
Well, honestly, Norman McDonald in general is actually underrated. Like a lot of people don't appreciate how great a comedian he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in general, I love Norman McDonald. Anyway, but
it's you.
My bad. Sorry, I got to order there. All right, so at number 3, number 3 for me is Fanboys.
That's a good choice.
My number 3 has already been mentioned, and that's Brewster's Millions.
It's a good choice. I'm glad you have that on your list.
Yes, of course. That's thanks to your dad.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love Brewster's Millions right there. Yeah, classic. Number 3 for me also caps up real hard. I got Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story, and a movie that absolutely gets overlooked anytime you talk about this guy, but it's probably his funniest movie that exists. It's Black Sheep.
Oh man, that's actually those were ones I actually put my honorable mentions just because of the top 2 kind of trumped it. Unfortunately, I wanted to put a Farley one on this so badly, but it's like
I'll preface this. I capped my number 1.
Okay, I didn't, but I was going to.
This is my first time I've ever done this. I think.
Okay. All right. So, sorry, I always forget the order. So,
You're 2.
I'm number 2 now. Okay. For my number 2, it's That's My Boy.
This guy just has everything with him.
I do.
Become Caps with the props.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, your Caps.
Who even has physical media anymore?
Me.
I do. I love physical media.
Mind you, when it comes to my game collection, yes, it's all physical. My number 2 is Basketball.
Oh my god! I forgot to put them. I have an amount here, and that is I would have put that on my top 5. Actually, nothing. It would have knocked out
Orgasmo.
Yes,
oh my god! Yes.
But Basketball is such a good film.
Mad at myself when
I really wanted to put this at number 1. I really wanted to put this at number 1, but it's number 2 in my heart. It's Black Dynamite.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so I'm at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, everyone should know it. Grandma's Boy.
I expected that already.
Yep.
I mean, I'll delete it off my honorable mentions, but so far that's the only one that you guys have said that was on my honorable mentions. So good. Well, I mean, I completely forgot about Basketball.
Yeah,
I did too. I hate that. I hate myself for it too.
My number 1, it's probably one of Michael Keaton's most underrated films, and that's Mr. Mom.
Oh, I was hoping to say Multiplicity.
I was hoping to say Multiplicity.
No, it's Mr. Multiplicity was on the honorable mentions along with another Michael Keaton film, but Mr. Mom had to be number
The
one.
Dream
for me.
Team.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
All
So
right.
listen, my number one is Caps. And from what I recall, this is the first time I've ever capsed it without like being a series of a games or something. It's Hot Rod and Super Troopers.
Okay, see, actually, so here's the thing. When you did Super Troopers because we did the other list, I just gotta say it. That's the other reason why I didn't, because I felt like there was more people that knew about Super Troopers than any of the other movies on my list. Like, I don't think any. I think there's still a good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it, and I think it is underrated. But I feel like there's at least more people that know about that than
I think
a lot of the other ones.
way more people in the world know about That's My Boy than all of my movies combined at once.
Really?
That's My
Like
Boy
that,
is massive. It's on every
not in my area.
service.
You don't
not
understand.
in my area. You don't even go. Who do you talk to?
Okay,
hey,
that must
Jimmy
be
at KFC.
That must be something in Canada then, because literally around here,
there's
people that I will tell.
It's Adam
Sandler,
and
yeah, but I'm telling you,
I don't think you can. I don't think you can call anything Adam Sandler underrated. Some of it can be really bad, but I wouldn't call his stuff underrated.
If we're talking in a chat for your guys' live streams, nobody's gonna know what that movie is. But I think anybody who knows comedy movies knows That's My Boy.
But see,
I'm not arguing with you. It is underrated.
Yeah.
But it's not. People definitely know about that. Like, name me somebody who knows Dirty Work.
Well, I do. Well,
I'm surprised neither of you have even seen Black Dynamite, even if you have. So,
well, no, I haven't heard of Black Dynamite. I haven't actually seen it. I'm actually, that's one of those things I've actually seen. Like, it's been recommended.
Anaconda Malt Liquor.
Yeah, right. But that, are we going through our list again, or because this year?
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Okay, so number 5 for me is Idle Hands. Number 4, Hot Rod. Number 3, Fanboys. Number 2, That's My Boy. And number 1, Grandma's Boy.
I'm surprised you had no caps.
No, you'll see. You'll see why.
Number 5, My Cousin Vinny. Number 4 is What About Bob and the Man Who Knew Too Little, to stick with that Bill Murray theme. Number 3 is Brewster's Million. Number 2 is Basketball. And number 1 was Mr. Mom.
All right. My number 5 is Bowfinger. My number 4 is Dirty Work and Brewster's Millions. My number 3 is Walk Hard and Black Sheep. My number 2 is Black Dynamite. And my number 1 is Hot Rod and Super Troopers. If you just came for the list, I'm the list. And let's talk about stuff now.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was going to say.
I was going to say, I want to. Go ahead, Putty. Go ahead.
No, it doesn't matter. I can wait.
No, I was going to say, going along the lines of your Super Troopers is, what's the other one they did? Club Dread right after that?
Yeah.
That is another funny movie that does not get the recognition that Super Troopers gets.
Puddle Cruiser, their very first movie, is also falls into that category. I think the most well-known movie they have at this point might be Beerfest, which is strange because Super Troopers got more mainstream than that. I mean, they have almost hit on every movie, maybe except Super Troopers 2. It's probably the weakest movie that they have.
Well, see, this is what I wanted to bring up before, because that's where when I sent you the message earlier saying this was where the confusion comes in, is because, you know, some of the movies I name my list that I love, me and my friends will watch it together, but then it's like I never see anybody else talk about them, and so some of those I actually put on my honorable mentions, because I'm like, where's the line of popularity when some movies don't get reach that become do get like a popularity later on down the road, but it's, you know, because they discover them later, but they were still underrated. So like, for example, I put like How High and Half Baked in my honor mentions, but I was like, but like, where would those go? I feel like those fall in the same situation. Super Troopers, or That's My Boy.
It's like how I told you when I messaged you, Cheech and Chong is not underrated.
No,
right? I agree, because that's well known. That's a brand.
If you look at the stoner genre, there's 5 movies that you immediately think of. The 2 Cheech and Chong movies, the first 2,
and Half Baked,
Friday, Half Baked, and How High. Those are the automatic movies that everyone goes to.
But here's the reason why I say
nobody talks about Soul Plane.
Well, yeah, I know, right? But here's my prime example. You actually see things like merchandise and everything for Cheech and Chong. I understand that. How High, Half Baked, even Super Troopers are those movies that they're very popular, but they're not branded as much as these other ones, because they're that big. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I was saying there's a fine line when it comes to underrated, because they weren't big when they came out. They got popularity later on when people discovered them. Yeah. But that would be the same thing as Super Troopers. You know what I mean? Like Mystery Man's in my list in that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people love it, but it's like it was underrated when it first came out. A lot of love has gotten from it, just like Super Troopers. So where does the underrated line go? Like based on critic reviews, things of that nature. You know what I mean?
That's why I added underappreciated, because it allows it to be from both sides. So to me, an underappreciated movie is a movie that critics like that it never caught on. And an underrated movie is a movie that critics didn't like, but like there's a large fan base for it.
So then what about the sisters? You know what I mean? With
sisters, this is my thing with sisters. I wouldn't say, like, if your personal opinion on it is you feel like it's way better than people think it is, then it's underrated. But like, to me, Sisters is a perfectly average comedy, and it got treated perfectly averagely. It's not that I love it, but it's not like one of the greatest comedies ever made, and it wasn't poorly rated by critics. Everyone thought it was fine. You know what I mean?
Okay, because that's what.
Like, How High is a pretty underappreciated movie. And underrated. It's a little of both, because it doesn't have a massive audience and it doesn't have great ratings, but it's a movie that has notoriety. Like, people know that movie. If that makes sense. Like, the cult movies for me is what that when we did that list, the notoriety for that is more of a factor. For these movies, it doesn't matter whether people know it or not.
Okay, true. So I've got a few more, but I'm gonna wait. I want to hear you guys' list right now.
Well, originally my my number 5 was a Caps between, which this was on my underrated action movies, and we talked about that. It was Nothing to Lose and Money Talks, which is
Money Talks is
two super underrated buddy cop movies. Well, Nothing to Lose is not about, they're not cops, but it's like the same dynamic. And I mean, it's probably Martin Lawrence's best movie that nobody remembers. And the same thing with Money Talks. It's Chris Tucker's movie that nobody remembers. Charlie Sheen, Tim Robbins, right? That's his name.
Yeah,
and Nothing to Lose.
I want to throw out Saved.
I have Saved on my list. That's a great movie.
That is such an underappreciated comedy movie. Macaulay Culkin, who plays the guy in the wheelchair in that film, he's fantastic.
I really expected that movie to be the resurgence of Macaulay Culkin when it came out. I really thought it was going to be, and then he just faded away again. And it's like they took Mandy Moore and made her like an actual useful person in a movie, which is like,
and it introduced us to, was it Eva Amori? Is her name?
Yeah, that became and That's My Boy, isn't she?
Yes, it is. Teacher? That's her. Susan Sarandon's daughter.
Is it her daughter?
I think it is. Yeah.
Wait, is that really her daughter?
I think
they look very similar.
I think they do, but I didn't think it was her daughter. So she played herself. Wait. So her daughter played a younger version of her, and That's My Boy.
I'm searching.
I'm looking at
that's right now. Weird.
Yeah, her mom is Susan Sarandon.
That makes so much sense because they look exactly the same.
Because they look so similar. I'm like, man, they found a girl that looks just like Susan Sarandon.
That's crazy.
Like, that is her daughter. Yeah.
Wow.
And she was also in Californication too, I think, with David Duchovny.
Yeah. A movie about his sex addiction.
Yes.
Yep.
I did have two movies.
Give us one.
Well, no, hold on. I'm gonna tell you, I did have a Caps when I replaced the Idle Hands. I felt these two movies you guys would not expect to be underrated, but it's because I loved them. So I just want to mention them, and that is the Three Stooges. It's the movie, the one with Will Sasso and Popstar. Now I remember you saying you don't like these, you didn't think they were good, and I love them. So I think that was more of a personal note, but that's why they ended up moving down to the honorable mentions.
So Putty put words in my mouth that never happened.
No, a while back when we talked about Popstar. And
I remember it. It was like last week. Popstar is, I don't really find it underrated, but it keeps falling on these lists, even on cult movies. It was on a lot of lists of cult movies. To me, it was a movie that immediately when you watched it, it was hilarious. And then as you rewatch it multiple times, the songs lost their touch. Where if you watch the Bash Brothers or the baseball movie that they made, or the other visual music album that Lonely Island made, are both better than Popstar.
See, that's what makes a difference. I own the album. I mean, I literally actually have two of the albums sitting right here. So I'm a big fan, but it's like I didn't feel like Popstar. I feel like the songs were still catchy to me. So maybe I feel like that might be like just a difference of opinion in that situation. It might not be just I know it's still opinion. I don't feel like it might be not agreeable to everyone.
I never said it was bad.
No, I know you didn't say it was bad.
I just don't. To me, I don't think it's underrated. It's as good as it's been rated. I mean, like I said, it's your personal opinion if you think it's underrated.
Well, that's why it's an honorable mention. That's why
I think Hot Rod is a far more underappreciated.
Well, yeah, that's why it's on the list.
Lonely Island project than that. I have Kingpin.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes.
Well. Yeah.
Yes.
I had
yep.
that on mine as
okay,
well.
I can take that off now. I have go ahead. I've got 4 more, but I want to see if you guys can knock my list off.
I didn't put that many because I just figured
here.
we're
I
just
want to throw out a movie that's underappreciated and it would not fly in this day and age, and that's The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, that's such a great movie, though. It's so hilarious.
And there's one line in that movie that will forever live in infamy is when the guy gets caught taking all the kids out. Right. And he goes, I just took the kids out for ice cream. And the guy goes, what the fuck do we get ice cream?
No, my favorite line is I can count to potato.
Potato. Give the snobby wave.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree. There's actually a lot of 80s movies that you could pick at. A lot of movies with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Oh, Hear No Evil, See No
Evil. Like they have like 5 movies together and they're all fantastic and nobody talks about them.
Well, yeah, the most famous actually has so many. It would not go by today, which is Blazing Saddles. That would never, ever, ever. Like there would be so many people that would be protesting.
But it's such a good. It's such a good like look at racism that nobody even understood that that's what the movie was about. It's not about making fun of people. It's literally like a play on society, and this is just like
the way History of the World Part 1 was.
Yes, exactly.
Same idea.
Spaceballs is pretty underrated.
See, now that one I don't feel like it because of the famous Star Wars, because that's why I put Fanboys on my list. I feel like Fanboys definitely gets that because there's not many people that know about it, but it is such a really good movie. While Spaceballs is a great movie, but a lot of people do know about it.
Yeah, but Spaceballs is kind of, when it first came out, at least, I don't feel like it was appreciated. I feel it garnered a larger following as people discovered it.
I find a lot of Mel Brooks films are like that are underappreciated but are really, really good. The only one that really kind of took off was Men in Tights.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say the same thing about Monty Python when they first come out? I mean, when that the same thing, they weren't popular, but then they get popular like down the road.
Okay, well, if you look at fame in terms of did you know it or did North America know it? Yeah, but in Europe, Monty Python was immediately a hit.
Like, that's true because of Flying Circus and everything. Yeah,
but in Canada too, because Canada had that strong English influence on us as well. We got a lot of had a lot of British stuff come over, like the Benny Hill Show.
Yeah.
Well, see, we still have that too. Because I remember actually watching Benny Hill when I was a kid at late night, and of course, when you're a young kid and Benny Hill's on, Benny Hill was doing things that they wouldn't allow anyone at that time to see. So.
But I mean, we also got Faulty Towers, and who knows Faulty Towers?
See, I don't know what that is.
Listen, there's going to be a British sitcom show, and it's probably going to have Faulty Towers on it. It's probably going to have Are You Being Served?
Yes. Oh my God, I used to watch that late night. For me, it would be some other ones too, like. Well, I'm be honest.
Blackadder. There's so many.
Blackadder, yeah. But that's what I was about to say. I feel like the only thing that became really big in the States was Mr. Bean. You know what I mean? But that could be. We're going to go. That's one.
Mr. Bean in Canada is super popular, and not for the reason that you think. It's because there's so many people here that can't speak English, and that movie that show's so easy. If you go to any old Portuguese person's house, they have Mr. Bean on because it's funny or just for laughs, gags.
My dad watches all that crap.
Yeah, my grandmother watches it all the time because she doesn't have to understand anything. She just has to look how stupid everything is. But okay, so speaking of underrated movies, you were talking about Monty Python and influences. I definitely see a lot of that in Kids in the Hall, and Hard Candy is a super underrated movie.
Strangers in Fiction, or was it, Hard Candy was made by the is it Strangers in Fiction? What was the name of the company? The Strangers. It was a TV show that was on Comedy Central, and then it made Hard Candy, and I can't remember the name.
No, it was the Kids in the Hall that did Hard Candy.
Oh no, what movie I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of, there was a show on Comedy Central, and they made a movie and it has this girl that has these really messed up teeth. Can't think of her name right now. Okay, anyway, I'm going off a tangent. I was thinking that was Hard Candy. I have to. I'll have to send it to you guys because I guarantee you guys have seen it, but you just don't realize.
Is great. Brain Damage is really good. Dave Foley is in a lot of underrated shit. Let's be honest.
You know what I actually like? I think it's underrated is the Rob Schneider, The Benchwarmers.
Okay, well, I have a Rob Schneider movie right here too, which I think is more underrated than Benchwarmers.
Isn't he a carrot?
He is a carrot. It's The Hot Chick. I think The Hot Chick is one of the funniest movies to come out of that time period that nobody gave a shit about.
By the way, thank you, John. You just deleted the other fourth one I said, so I've got 2 more left. Bedsores is on my list.
He actually had a string of not great, but not bad and underappreciated films. Like I would say Deuce Bigalow is underappreciated. The Animal is underappreciated. Like he had, like,
if you're an SNL fan, those movies are worth watching. Like I was gonna pull a troll on you guys and be like, my number one is It's Pat. Dave Foley.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring this up because you guys brought that up. There was the thing I've noticed that I enjoy a lot of Adam Sandler's production company movies where they don't have Adam Sandler. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot. We did the list,
and there's a lot of good ones, like Strange Wilderness. I think I really like Strange Wilderness. But there's a few really good ones. And
I like Without a Paddle.
Without a Paddle.
I literally had that. Was over here somewhere.
Without a Paddle falls into my category. So my cousins have a cottage, and we used to go there a lot. And they had a big trunk full of VHS movies. And I've probably told this story before, but when everyone would fall asleep after we all drank ourselves to sleep, I would either watch Without a Paddle or Running Scared, the one with Billy Crystal. Every time, only those 2 movies. I would put it on and I would fall asleep to those movies. And if I didn't fall asleep, I would put the other one on after. And always, it was like, and they just became like a special like movie for me, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Without a Paddle is a great movie, but
no,
it's doesn't deserve the hate that it got.
Yeah. It's not that. Yeah, it's not.
Dax Shepard, Hit and Run is a really good movie with Dax Shepard. Idiocracy.
Yes.
Which is coming true.
Yeah. Right.
We actually talked about that already.
Yeah.
Putty, what's your last movie since we deleted all your movies?
It's We're the Millers.
That's fair.
Yeah, this one I still watch to this day constantly when I want to get a good comedy, and it's like no one knows it even exists. You know what I mean? And it's got huge stars in it. You know what I mean? Jennifer Aniston, I'm literally looking at it right now, Jason Sudeikis, and
it's Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is.
That's Emma Roberts.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the daughter,
and plays the daughter. Boy.
No, but I mean, I would argue that Emma Roberts is a bigger star than Jason Sudeikis.
Nah, at this point, probably.
No, not at this point. No.
At this point, yes. She's massive.
It's
Jason
Eric
Sudeikis
Roberts' daughter.
It's Julia Roberts' niece.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, that's a good movie. I think the Vacation remake is pretty underrated. I don't know why a lot of people hate it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's pretty funny, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, if you want to stick with remakes, I didn't mind the Bad News Bears remake with what's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton.
Sling Blade. Phantoms in a motherfucker. Yeah. Bad News Bears, the original one, is a good.
It was movie. Good with Walter Matthau. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Okay, Walter Matthau. Let's go. So, like I said, I live in the world of deep comedy world. To See is one of the most underrated comedies ever. It's so underrated. It just, I don't know if it would be on my favorites list, right? Like, I have Best in Show, but Christopher Guest, almost all of his movies are for your consideration. Like, a lot of them, he did This Is Spinal Tap too. A lot of them just go over.
Oh, A Mighty Wind.
A Mighty Wind. There you go. That's a great one.
Yeah.
How do you got any more?
The last one I had was only one I liked. I don't know if it's considered underrated, but it was Good Luck Chuck. I don't know if people like it, but I enjoyed that.
Jessica Alba.
The one with Jessica Alba and
like it.
Dane Cook.
Jones.
Yeah, well, I love the premise of the whole thing where he could basically, but would screw women, and basically their next dream lover would be the next guy they date. So it was
Which one was the one with Dax Shepard, Dane Cook with the Costco?
Oh, that's Employee of the Month.
Employee of the Month. Yeah, that's what Jessica
Dick. Okay, so what's the Waiting?
Waiting is another good one.
Still Waiting is also underrated. In Still Waiting, Andy Milonakis shines in Still Waiting when they become gangsters. J-Dog and whatever his name is. But there's some really good ones. You're gonna go John Candy.
Canadian Bacon.
Canadian Bacon. What's the other one? Arrested.
What was that? God. You said Waiting. Never mind.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Well, no, I'm thinking of Waiting, and then another one I was thinking of was, I'm trying to think of it, but I don't think it would be in the same realms. It was pretty good, but I forgot the name now, and we started talking about something else, and I forgot it because there was Waiting. I was thinking Extract. That's what I was thinking of was Extract. Extract was that great.
We had this thing last time where we couldn't remember Extract.
But then, exactly. but then again, if you're going Mike Judge, Office Space is way better.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's definitely. But see, Office Space, like I said, when we talked in the cult followings, that definitely has that, like, that feel to it and everything. I don't know if it's underrated though. Maybe it is. I guess it is. I don't know.
Okay, well, you know what? I honestly forget how many like underrated movies John Candy has. Delirious. Okay. Hold on. I'm almost there.
Only the Lonely.
Who's Harry Crumb? Who's Harry Crumb is so underrated.
Is that really considered underrated? I thought
yeah, nobody even knows that. The movie I'm thinking of is Armed and Dangerous. Armed and Dangerous is so funny. Like,
I always thought that was like in the same realm as Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like, I felt like it was like a lot of people know, but maybe it's just people that knew John Candy knew about that movie. I don't know. Like, I thought it was huge.
With the Bonnie Tyler song playing at the end when he's riding the stairs to the airplane. I need a hero.
Okay, so I got a few. I got Dick with Michelle Williams and what's her name? Kirsten Dunst and Will Ferrell. Yeah. That's a good one.
That one's on the
Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Yes,
I think that's an because no one even knows it's Kevin Smith. MacGruber,
yeah, exactly.
MacGruber had to be on here, but Gruber was almost on my actual list.
Well, that was the thing.
I believe it or not, on my honorable mentions too, I have Bring It On.
Bring It On is good. Only the first one.
The first one, yeah.
I mean, like I said, you can go through the 90s and the 80s, and I could just pull them out of my ass. I was really, really I was doubled up on every spot. Okay, so MacGruber was on my 5, and I originally had Goldfinger, MacGruber, and I deleted Nothing to Lose and Money Talks. And then at my number 2, I had, oh my God, I just forgot the movie. Wayne's World 2. Wayne's World 2 is
really
so underrated. It's way funnier than the first one.
Everybody knows the first one, but the second one was not as popular.
Again, I guess the reason I never really think of those two is because, for me, Wayne's World 1 and 2, you can't have one without the other. Like, I literally have the box.
A lot of people don't even know there is a second one, buddy.
Really? See, that's what I guess maybe just because I'm old and I don't realize
also,
it.
It's underrated because no one liked it. And I
loved it.
When you go back and watch it, the second one is so much funnier than the first one. The first one is a better made movie. The second one is just funny. Speaking of that, How I Married an Axe Murderer, hilarious.
Yes, Mike Myers.
That one's a dark one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then wouldn't that be the same thing with Cable Guy too? Like, would you consider
Cable Guy? I would consider Cable Guy underrated. And then Dana Carvey has 2 good movies too.
Master Disguise.
No, he has one where he loses his. He has one where he's a detective, and he has one where he loses his memory. And I don't remember the name of either one. Senseless with David Spade and Marlon Wayans.
Yes,
that's an underrated one.
Well, we can even say, "Wouldn't Don't Be a Menace." To self-
yeah, I would say,
but then again, the movie that started the whole parody genre is not another teen movie. I would put that out there too. I thought that was a pretty.
I mean. If you're going to talk about parody genres, Top Secret.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Genius.
Spy Hard.
Spy Hard was what I was trying to do because when you said that, I thought UHF, and in my head, I'm like, wait a second. There's another one. Spy Hard literally popped in my head when you said that too.
Spy Hard. It's a underrated Leslie Nielsen film.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because he's so.
The Ladies Man is underrated too. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, SNL pumped out a lot of really good movies.
Oh yeah, there was Stuart Stage's Family. That was I loved it.
Nobody knows that.
Oh my God, I love that movie. But it's just like It's Pat. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies that are made by.
It's Pat is actually not good, but I watched It's Pat so many times when I was a kid because you don't know the difference of what's good and what's not good.
Understand
the Roxbury.
That was a great one. You know, and I don't think that's underrated because
it's not underrated. It's popular, but
that's the whole point. Like SNL was putting a lot of good movies based on their characters, and but the thing was It's Pat was popular. So It's Pat. The problem with It's Pat was we never really got our answer. We still to this day don't have our answer, but it's like Stuart Stage's Family is one of those that was underground, but I felt like it was really funny, and people don't even know what Stuart is, let alone unless they watch SNL and then the movie.
I got a good one. Airheads.
Oh my God.
Yo, Brendan Fraser is Brendan
Fraser and Adam Sandler were amazing in that movie.
Underrated movies? Okay.
When he's not playing his Nintendo Switch, he's amazing.
Encino Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Son-in-law.
Biodome.
Biodome.
Biodome's not really underrated. In the Army Now. Biodome is definitely his worst one.
Yes.
What's the one with Tia Carrera?
Wayne's World?
No, he goes to court, jury duty.
Jury duty.
Oh, okay.
Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore came out with 5 movies in a row and then just fell off a cliff.
What about the Ernest series? Would you guys feel those are underrated? Scared Stupid?
Depending. Scared Stupid is not, and Camp is not, because everybody knows those, and I feel like they're rated accordingly.
Ernest Goes to Jail, on the other hand.
Ernest Goes to Jail is underrated.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Here's the thing, though.
I think Christmas is one of the best Christmas movies.
Do they re-show the movie in Canada? Because in the States, I know for a fact they never show those movies, and I feel like
I know that they show it. They show it here. I know I've seen Ernest Saves Christmas.
I know. I'm not gonna go into this talk of like your random channel that you have in the States that you check once to see if it's on.
No, but see,
in the movie community, everybody knows those 2 movies, and they're extremely popular.
Okay, so in the comments, do you know what the Ernest is? Oh my God, yes. I changed it, but that's
the audience that we have doesn't even know who Ernest is, probably.
No, he died like 20 years ago.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I had to mention. Sorry, Death Becomes Her. That is a
Death Becomes Her is one of the greatest horror comedies like that exists. We're gonna have to do horror comedies. Idle Hands, by the way. That was
on my list. Yeah.
That's legit on my list of like favorite movies to watch during Halloween. That's why for me I don't consider it underrated, because everybody I know knows it and likes it.
Really? Like you guys are the first people I actually met. Every friend I've had here, but no, just you guys in Canada. Literally, they're just you guys in this group. No one around me knew that you existed.
Watch movies, no Idle Hands.
That came around the same time as The Faculty and all that.
But John, you have to remember, I'm a movie watcher. You don't think my friends know stuff like Hot Rod and all that, but never knew Idle Hands.
This is my point. You can't go to a person that's like, I own Netflix and I only watch Netflix because whatever's on Netflix is what I watch. The people I'm talking about are people who have massive movie collections. Like the people that in the movie community know Idle Hands. It's not like a hidden gem or something, but it's a great movie.
It's there, yeah.
I think it is underrated critically. It's look at its rating. It's terrible. The ratings it has is terrible.
I didn't know. Yeah, I never even looked it up in that situation.
Yeah. So
again,
a young Jessica Alba.
Camp
Nowhere. What about that? Oh my God.
Camp Nowhere is super underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I just popped in my head as soon as we started talking about Jessica Alba. I'm like, oh my God, Camp Nowhere.
I can go through a lot of Camp movies that are good. Man of the House.
Yes. Yeah. Which one was the one with was it Chevy Chase and the guy from Home Improvement?
Honestly, that's it. Man of the House.
Man of the House.
Yeah, Man of the House. Yeah.
What else? There's so many. Okay, we're not going to get into this Bushwhacked. Bushwhacked. Daniel Stern. Bushwhacked.
Yes.
Okay, anyways, or Celtic Pride. Okay, that's it. I'm not saying anymore. The Sixth Man. Okay. Guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what your favorite underrated comedy movies are in the comments below.
I'm sure
that's JD. His stuff will be there, and that's Putty. His stuff will be there. And peace out.
What are we waiting?
I love our all